everyone, I'm Miss Liz O. Welcome to And the Adventure Continues. I have Miss Liz Y with me today.
Hey everyone.
And she is going to help make the decisions that need to be made when I read you this story, The Carnival Caper. So a choose your own adventure story is a story that you as the reader will make choices along the way and make decisions on the direction that our story is going to go. So in this one, it's got 4 main characters. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them so you get a little heads up. We have Catalina Duran, and she goes by the name Cat, and she's in 6th grade, and she likes animals, being green, and field trips. Then we have Edward G. Garrison. His nickname is Egg, and he's also in 6th grade, and he likes photography and field trips. Then we have James Shoo, S-H-O-O, and his nickname is Gum, and he's in 6th grade. His interests are gum chewing, field trips of course, and showing everyone what a crook Anton Gutman is. I hope we find out about him in this book. Then last we have Samantha Archer. Her nickname is Sam. She's in 6th grade and she likes old movies and field trips. Can you guess what's going to happen? They're going on a field trip to a carnival. You guys, Samantha Archer says, she grabs hold of the seat back in front of her and leans over a little. In front of her, James, Gumshoe, and Catalina Duran, 2 of her best friends. And the 3rd, Edward Egg Garrison, sits next to her. This is it, says Sam. This is the big one. Wackyville Carnival and Fun Zone. The biggest trip of 6th grade. Gum twists in his seat and blows a big pink bubble. Cat backs away just before it pops, and Gum expertly pulls it back into his mouth to keep chewing. You don't have to remind me, Gum says. I've been counting the days since kindergarten. Really? Egg says, popping his head up. Because that's over 2,000 days. So at the bottom of this page, it's telling me turn to the next page. So no decisions there. It's an expression, Gum says, dropping back into his seat as the bus pulls into the big Wackyville parking lot. It takes 3 buses to haul the entire 6th grade from Franklin Middle School to the amusement park for the day. They pull into the parking lot. The brakes hiss and thunk. The doors seem to sigh as they open, and the 6th graders all but burst from the buses. I can't wait to hit the midway where the games are, Gum says. I plan to win enough tickets to bring home that Z-Cube game system. Not me, says Sam, rubbing her hands together. They've got the oldest wooden roller coaster in the state. I'm going to ride it 50 times. Just 50, Cat says, elbowing Egg and winking at him. Maybe 100, Sam says. The 4 friends hurry along with their classmates as their teachers and parent chaperones do their best to herd the kids toward the amusement park's main gates. When they reach the front gate, though, it's been pulled down as if the park is closed. Standing in front of it, park security guard and a man in tan pants and a wrinkled orange shirt. Their teacher, Mr. Spade, is already at the gate. He'd taken his own car to meet them there. What the heckle? Cat says. What's going on? Asks Mr. Spade. Cat, Gum, Egg, and Sam gather around him, snooping as usual. I'm Mr. Dawson, the park manager, says the man in the tan suit, and it's rather embarrassing, actually. In fact, we'd close for the day if not for your field trip. We tried to call, but you were already on your way. What happened, Mr. Spade says. An entire case of our specially printed plastic cards with their magnetic strips has gone missing. Right out of the main office here at the park. Stolen, Sam and Egg say at the same time. And once again, I have the note turn to the next page. Mr. Dawson laughs nervously. We're not jumping to any conclusions, he says, forcing a smile, but it is a problem. Those are the cards visitors use to pay for the rides, Mr. Spade asks. And games and meals and souvenirs, Mr. Dawson says, nodding. They even keep track of how many tickets visitors have won on the Midway. No more paper tickets, Mr. Spade asks. We did away with those several months ago, Mr. Dawson says. Litter everywhere. The tickets were damp with sweat by the time the visitors turned them in. I see, Mr. Spade says, so the cards are quite valuable. Not at all, actually, Mr. Dawson says, until we scan them and add money or prizes. The missing carton of blank cards is nearly worthless, but without them, we can't do a thing. What? Sam says. No rides? No prize tickets, Gum says. Mr. Dawson shakes his head. I'm afraid not, he says. Everything in the park is linked through the computer system, and it all depends on those cards to work. Everything? Mr. Spade asks. Pretty much, Mr. Dawson says. He nods to the guard who pulls up the gate. It thunders as it rolls into its metal case above them. Oh, Mr. Dawson says quickly, almost as an afterthought. There is mini golf. That doesn't require a computer to run. The staff will hand out balls and clubs, as many as you need. Play as much as you like. Now what? Kat asks her friends quickly as they huddle together. Around the 4 junior detectives, the whole 6th grade rushes in. It's a case, Sam says, shoving her hands into her pockets. We will solve it. But how? Egg asks. So this is the point in the story where we have to make a decision. There are 3 choices. The first one is, do they want to play a round of mini golf and look for clues? Or do they want to snoop around the park for answers? Or do they go directly to the office to look for physical evidence? So what do you think, Miss Liz?
Those are all really good options. I think I'm going to go with the third one because I feel like physical evidence will lead to the most answers.
All right, so directly to the office to look for physical evidence. Turn to page 16. Sam strides up to the ticket booth. Excuse me, can you tell us where the office is? The main office, says the young woman in the ticket booth. It's around back. I don't think anyone's there right now, though. Thanks, says Sam, but the woman in the booth doesn't even look up from her phone. The 4 sleuths move to the office door. Should we knock? Egg asks. Good thinking, Sam says. If someone answers, we make an excuse. Otherwise, we know the coast is clear. She knocks, but nothing happens. Sam leads the sleuths inside. A cat leaps out of the corner and lands right on Sam's arm. Ah, Sam shouts, dropping the cat to the floor. It lands on his feet and rubs its face against Sam's ankle. Sam sneezes. Get it away from me, she says, her nose closing up and her eyes going red. I'm very allergic. Cat scoops up the cat. Oh, poor thing, she says. Look, he's only got one eye. Aw. Gross, Gum says. Or a pirate. Cat clicks her tongue at him. While she and Gum scratch the cat's ears and let him grab at a pen they take from another desk nearby, Egg and Sam check the office over for clues. Okay, Mr. Dawson, comes the voice of the woman in the booth. I'll take care of it. The door to the ticket booth begins to open. Quick, Sam hisses to her friends. Skedaddle! The sleuths hurry from the office just before the young woman opens the door all the way, just in time to see the main door close. Now what? Egg says when the 4 detectives are far enough away from the office. I didn't find anything in there, Sam says, and she sneezes, except dander. All right, now we get to make another choice. The first choice is to question employees of the park or to question other 6th graders.
Again, really good options. Let's go with question the employees. I feel like they probably, again, have the most answers.
Yeah, they're probably going to know a lot more than the
Than the
third
other
graders.
students.
Yeah, because they just got there. The sleuths walk to the mini golf course. Sam sidles up to the mini golf counter and leans against it. She says to the man working behind the counter, "Not many employees around today." The man says, "I guess." "So where is everyone?" Kat asks. He shrugs. "Break room probably," he says, "over in the big building across the plaza. Meanwhile, I'm stuck on mini golf duty." "Yeah, tough break," says Sam. She leads her friends toward the building across the plaza. Once in the building, they hear the low murmur of conversation from up the hallway. Soon they reach an open door, and inside is a large kitchen with 2 circular tables in the middle. Both tables are full of park employees. They all look up at the 4 kids standing in the doorway. "Aren't you kids from the field trip?" one of them asks. The detectives nod as they move into the break room. And I'll turn to the next page. "Aren't you supposed to be playing mini golf?" asks a man with a beard. His name tag says Eugene. "We got bored," Gum says. "Fair enough," says Eugene. Then he sneezes. "Allergies?" Sam asks. "That cat in the office made me sneeze like crazy." "No, I'm not allergic," says Eugene. "I just have a cold. But if I take another sick day, I won't be able to pay my rent. That's why I've been trying to get everyone to strike." He smiles a crooked smile. "It's not exactly a sick day, but no one can work." "Looks like I gotta sit in after all," Eugene laughs, but no one joins him. The sleuths turn to leave, and Sam says quietly, "Eugene is definitely a suspect. The cards are gone, and he got his strike." She shrugs, "Kind of." "We ought to snoop around this building," Gum says. "I bet there are plenty of places to stash the golden goods." All right, I'm going to stop right here, even though there are 2 more choices to be made. And I would like you to come in, check out this book or another one like it, and find out how this story ends and how many different versions you can find inside this wonderful story. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.